Alrighty, welcome one, welcome all. You've stumbled across a special edition of Bingo is Life, the post-bingo Harrisonburg podcast.
Hey! Look at us.
Very special indeed.
It's a family affair.
That's right.
It's a family affair.
Wow.
Didn't think I could hit it.
Didn't.
Oh, shoot. I wanted to.
I mean, it was close.
I know. Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah. So yeah, we're doing a special podcast today because we're actually at Smith Mountain Lake.
What?
That's right. Doing a little family vacation, and we figured the interesting thing to do here would be to interview our parents.
Yay!
To discover the truth that lies within.
Yes.
Now,
Right.
I will. So first, let's introduce who they are. Do you want to talk about them at all? Say,
Mom,
anything.
Dad.
Here's Mom and Dad. So
I'm Dad.
I'm Mom.
Hey, congratulations.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so here, if I was to just, I'll try to describe Dad.
Okay.
You try to describe Mom.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Go ahead. What you got?
Dad, retired, is retired now.
Okay.
For course.
Mom, also retired. This is easy. All right.
Yeah, fantastic. Done. Let's see. Let's leave it at that. Born in lived in Briar Branch most of their lives.
Right.
So that's, right outside of the Harrisonburg area.
Except for me. I was born more in Sangerville.
Sangerville, right?
Very good. Yeah,
Right.
Sangerville. Well, you weren't born in Briar Branch, though, right? Where were you born, Dad?
Harrisonburg.
Harrisonburg.
Which is important because this podcast, a lot of it has to do with Harrisonburg. We interview a lot of people from Harrisonburg, all that kind of stuff.
People that do things.
Yes, people that do things. And you all do things. That's
Absolutely.
good too.
But ladies and gentlemen, our mom and dad, Doug and Kathy Howdyshell.
Yes.
Hey!
Welcome aboard. We're glad you're here.
Thanks
Glad
for
to
being
be
here. Good. How you guys doing?
Good.
Doing just fine.
All right. The first time ever being on a podcast.
Yes.
Are you a little nervous?
Yes.
All right, yeah.
Oh,
I can
good.
tell by the tapping of the fingers.
Yes.
It's all good.
No, you're fine.
No, it's fine.
Tap away. You're totally good. All right. So, hi guys. So, I have a couple questions for you guys. We have a couple questions. So, because this is about Harrisonburg, these guys grew up out in the country outside of Harrisonburg. I would love to know, for you all, what was Harrisonburg to you when as kids? Was it the big city? Was it a place where you would go get? What would you do there? Was there anything that you would do there? Mom, you go first.
We didn't go to Harrisonburg that much.
Yeah.
But when we did go, we'd always stop at Warner's store in there at the parking deck, and Dad would get us chocolate-covered peanuts, and he would bring us from Jess's lunch a hot dog. And we thought they was the best stuff, and we always loved the Daddy bringing us that.
Do you remember what you got on the Jess's hot dog?
Oh, everything.
Everything. Yeah. So the
everything,
chili
yeah.
dog with the mustard and the onions.
It's the only way.
It was.
Yes, it was. Oh, it's no longer there. That's right.
All right. How about you, Dad? What's your memory?
Well,
First memory.
Harrisonburg, when I was a kid, was Court Square. I mean,
That's all there was.
That's all there was.
Right.
You had the Farm Bureau, which is gone now. JMU bought it up and tore it down. But it was Court Square. You had J.C. Penney, you had McCoy's, you had Western Auto.
Western
And
Auto.
I loved Western Auto because they had fishing stuff and hunting stuff and all this kind of stuff. But Mom would go to Grant's, W.T. Grant's, which was on Court Square. And every year when we went back to school, we went to Grant's to buy all our clothes. And
For the entire year.
for the
right?
entire year, you
Right.
know. Everybody got, a couple new shirts,
Yep.
a couple new pairs of pants, a pair of shoes, some socks, underwear, and and that was Harrisonburg. We there wasn't no parking decks. So
Right.
you just parked in what is the lower level now.
Right.
And there was a little shop across the way there that Daddy would go buy us candy and stuff. And as I got older, it was a magazine store right next to it. Loved that magazine store. Seen things in the magazine store you couldn't see it anywhere else.
Right. The rest of the world was there. Right?
Yeah. Loved to go in and look at the comic books and all that kind of stuff. And
Was there a Woolsworth there at one
oh
point?
yeah,
right?
Woolsworth.
Down there, it was Woolsworth, and there was another one.
I know. Was it like a 5 and dime? Wasn't?
Yes.
Is that
McCoy's 5 and 10.
McCoy's
Yeah.
5 and 10, right?
Yeah.
McCoy's, is that what it was?
Yeah.
And then the one of them had a diner in it. We used to go to that diner.
Yeah.
and
No,
eat.
that would be Woolsworth. Because me and you, one of my earliest memories of Harrisonburg was going, and I don't know that I ate there, but I know that we walked into the building. I remember walking and knowing that there was food there.
Right.
But you know what's interesting though? What I remember more about with you, Mom, shopping is going to Rose's.
Oh, they had a place to eat there too.
Then they had a place to eat at Rose's.
Yeah, but that was on out further.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know, but it's still Harrisonburg.
Still Harrisonburg.
Still
right?
Harrisonburg.
Still
counts.
Harrisonburg.
Roses.
And that's still there.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
that's
not
right.
for long though.
Is that right?
I don't
They
think
changed
so.
it?
I think it's going. I think it's getting. That property's been purchased.
Ooh.
I think so.
Go tear it down.
Oh, they should.
Yeah.
I mean,
This
I don't,
broadcast does not reflect the thoughts and feelings of anyone else.
that owns Roses currently.
But yeah, Harrisonburg was a lot smaller when I
Right.
was a kid, and there was almost nothing between Briary Branch and Harrisonburg.
Dayton,
Well, Dayton had there was no stores in Dayton.
right?
I mean, on Main Street before 42 went around Dayton, there was a few things. But as soon as they put the little bypass through, they changed Route 42.
Yeah.
Dayton was like lost. They
Yes.
just,
The only thing in Dayton was Dr. Huffman.
Oh, Dr. Huffman.
Yeah,
Oh,
That's
where his
where
office
Dr.
was?
Huffman was.
yeah.
Yes, he was out there, which is now 42 in that little gray house, but it's now a bike shop, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh,
Molehill Bike
yeah,
Shop.
Mohill bike
Yeah,
shop.
that used to be Dr. Huffman's office.
That is the Dr. Huffman that you tell the stories about.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Dr. Huffman was the man.
It's funny. So
He
I
was
had,
the doctor that
He was the
everybody
only doctor.
went to because he was the only
Yeah,
one that people
right.
had to go to.
Right.
and so no, you guys grew up in the same general area.
Well, you had Mom was in Augusta County
Augusta
and Dad was in
County.
Rockingham
That's
County.
right. But you both still went to Dr. Huffman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. There you go.
He
It
served
really was.
the local 8 counties.
Right. Wow. Shocking. Okay, so what years are we talking? I have no idea. Tell the people, what years were you children?
Well,
What is-
we was both born in 1952. She
Okay.
was, I'm March, she's September.
So we're looking at, let's say, your earliest memory. You're 10. I don't know. I'm just-
Oh no, I remember going to Harrisonburg when I was probably 5 or 6 years old.
Okay.
So I'm talking
so-
about 58,
yeah,
59.
59. Yeah. Okay. Great.
I remember, we were a family with very little money, and so when mom took the kids to shop, Daddy never did go.
Right, right.
Well, excuse me, he did go some, but not very often. And when he went, we always seemed to end up with more candy and hot dogs
I see.
and stuff like that.
Awesome.
But when Mom went, it was strictly shopping.
Yeah, yeah.
They'd try these shoes on. You need to try them
That's right.
pants on.
We got things to do.
Yeah. I've got 4 kids here. I got to get dressed,
Yeah.
for school, because Ginger and James wasn't born yet.
Yeah, right.
It was just me and Dana and Juanita and Kathy.
Right. Now, Mom, when you went to Harrisonburg, did you go as a family at all, or is it just a couple of you, or
No, we usually went all together.
all together? And was it Granddaddy?
and
Would
if
he?
me and Dad, if we needed something, Mom would go with us.
Okay.
Dad would keep the boys.
Okay.
And the thing I remember about downtown the most, the first memory I have is at Joseph Nay's. They had that big window in the second floor, and they always had a pretty mannequin in there that was all dressed up in something very nice.
Yeah,
and,
yes.
and that's what I always looked for. What they got in their window today?
Do you know though, that building is now where the Harrisonburg City Public Schools
Oh, the offices.
the
offices, administrative offices.
Yeah, that's their they took that window and bricked it up.
Yeah.
But it's still there.
Right.
It is
Well,
still there.
nothing stays the same, so it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah. So let's zap forward. We are zooming through time. Okay. So you are now a teenager. You're now a little bit older. You've just graduated. Are you guys going to the Strip? Is that a place where you guys would go? No.
No, that was later.
Is that later?
Yeah, that was much later.
Oh.
I would think.
Yeah.
What about Carlton Street?
Where
Yeah.
was the Strip?
Carlton Street.
Okay. Yeah. That was not you guys.
Yeah.
That was not your era.
When I was a teenager, downtown was still, a place to go,
Yeah.
but it was mostly for racing up Main Street.
Ah, I gotcha. Yeah.
It's a lot of stoplights.
Yes.
And
the era of the muscle car.
Oh yeah,
A lot of cruising.
Yeah.
Around and around and around you go.
You go,
Where you stop, nobody knows.
you go to town to show off your ride.
Yeah. Yeah.
With
And
the
what car
boys.
did you have back then?
I had originally I started out in a 1960 Rambler station wagon.
The Ram.
And
He's
and
a
then-
rambling man.
He's a rambling.
and
No,
then
are you with him at this time?
no.
No.
Okay.
Not in a
Not when
station
it-
wagon.
Not in a
no.
station wagon.
Not when he had the Rambler.
Ah, okay.
But him and the Rambler brothers, they eventually were called. I know all them too.
Oh, that's right. You had a name for your.
Oh yeah.
He was the first. He was the oldest, and he had his permit, so he was the one that could drive everybody around.
Yeah, we were the Rambler brothers.
Yeah.
And it was like 6 of us, and we went everywhere,
Yeah.
and chased the girls and partied. And we used to love to go to Harrisonburg because out on Route 33, across from where the mall is today, was a little teeny service station, and because it was just outside of the city limits, they sold county beer, which was 3.2 low alcohol.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And you still had to be 18, but if you could drive into the parking lot, the man would sell you beer. And we would go out there and buy Rolling Rock beer by the case.
Yeah, right.
and ride around.
I wasn't
Rolling
with
Rock.
him then.
Of course.
I know. You're so
Well,
good.
for the listeners who've never heard of this, the beer they sold beer differently back then, right?
Yeah.
You had a regular beer, but then you had a light beer,
Yeah, county beer, they called it.
county beer.
County beer was 3.2% alcohol.
Okay.
City beer was 6.4%.
Okay. All right.
And in the city, they were a lot more strict.
Yeah.
That old man wasn't supposed to be selling it to us.
Sure,
but
sure.
I used to say, if you drove
Yeah,
in,
right.
you had money,
Hey,
there's
right.
the cooler.
You're right,
you
right.
know? And, it was great. I mean, it just,
Easy times.
Yeah, Rambling Man.
Rambling Man.
Rambling Doug Howdyshell.
but we would go in town to watch the races.
Oh, okay.
I mean, drag racing on the street was crazy then.
All right.
And everybody that had a muscle car came to Harrisonburg. I've seen cars lined up on Route 11 where it used to be a little burger chef restaurant. Let me see. It'd be down below where your house is, Chris, right there on Route 11. Mm-hmm. I have seen cars backed up clean out to the, close to where the fairgrounds is.
Oh my Lord.
2 miles
Yeah.
to get into Burger Chef parking lot.
This was when burgers were brand new, and everybody wanted to try one.
If you wanted to be in and get a place, you had to go to Harrisonburg at on a Saturday.
Yeah,
you had to get there before noon,
Yeah.
and then you'd back in and get your beer in the back seat,
sure. Yeah.
and then sit on the hood and
Yeah.
watch everybody go by.
Yeah.
Was there no police back then?
Well, yeah, there was, but it was just
Just a different time.
It was
different
chaos.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
But
good.
a lot of muscle cars. I can think of all the guys that I grew up with that had really fast cars.
Yeah.
I didn't have a fast car, so I didn't have no money.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bought my dad bought me the old Rambler, I think, for $50.
Gotcha.
And then I had to put the head back on the motor to get it to run. And, of
course.
he said, hey, there you go. Have fun.
Yeah. You are now a rambling brother.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
But it was great.
So, okay, when you all met, then he was not driving this car.
He was driving a Pontiac.
Oh, Pontiac.
I'd moved up to a big Pontiac.
Oh,
Star.
okay. Gotcha. And did you ever do any dates in Harrisonburg? Did you ever take any dates in Harrisonburg?
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
go to the movies. We go
Okay.
to the drive-in. There was drive-ins was still open then.
Yeah, it was.
Is that the one that was that would be near where
On
the
11,
bowling
right?
alley is
Yeah.
now?
Yeah, there was
Okay.
one there. There was one out on Route 11 North,
Uh-huh.
all the way down past Barbecue Ranch.
Oh, yes.
There was
Yeah,
one
yeah,
out there.
yeah.
Then there was another one up towards Stanton before you got into Stanton.
Yeah, we don't talk about Stanton. on this podcast.
Well, we do, just not kindly. It's fine.
No, we love Stan.
we do. We love
Stan.
We love to pick on Stan.
Yes.
But yeah, there was drive-ins, and they'd have all-nighters, and
Okay, let's see how good your memory is. Do you remember a movie? What was your favorite movie at a drive-in?
Any movie.
Any
Oh.
movie.
When they had their Clint Eastwood
Ooh,
movies, any kind of
any Clint Eastwood.
Yes.
All right, gotcha.
Okay, that's good. How about
I
you?
kind of
Dan?
enjoyed the beach movies.
Oh, like
Yeah.
He would.
Elvis type beach movies, or just any beach movie?
It was like beach movies.
Yeah, okay.
where the girls were all in
Yeah,
bikinis.
sure.
And all that stuff.
Fair.
I like those, and then we've seen like Smokey and the Bandit.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Now my understanding is
MASH.
Smokey and the Bandit infamously played in Harrisonburg for like a year. It was in it did not
It was
leave.
incredibly popular.
It was, it would not leave. They were like, just keep Smokey and
Just
the
keep
Bandit
it-
running.
Well, I seen MASH. We seen it 3 times.
Oh right, the movie MASH.
the movie
Yeah,
MASH. Yeah.
Well, there was 2 theaters in Harrisonburg.
Downtown. Yeah.
Okay, two. The Virginia,
Virginia.
yeah, which is now a parking lot.
That's parking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
the Grand.
I always enjoyed going there and eating the movie popcorn.
Yes.
I love movie
The
popcorn.
Virginia had a balcony too. if I
Yeah.
remember
And the
right.
balcony.
Yeah.
That's where I was at the first time I seen Romeo and Juliet. the
Oh,
movie. Yeah.
on the balcony.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Now it's a good thing. It's a good thing y'all made up with Stanton because I didn't have a birth certificate when I got married, and I was in Augusta County and he was in Rockingham, and at that time you had to get a license to be married, and I couldn't get a license because I wasn't old enough, for one thing, to get married, and then
You
I
should be
didn't.
40.
And
Hear
then-
that, kids? Wait till you're 40.
No, we've had a great life, and I'm glad I didn't wait any longer.
So what did you do then? You didn't have the license.
You had to go to Stanton to get it.
I had to go to Stanton, and I had to go to Dr. Huffman, and he's the one that delivered me in the hospital. And so I had to go to him, and we had to fill out an affidavit that he did deliver me. Wow. And so Mom wrote the name down on it. She just hadn't wrote who delivered me. And
Oh, I see.
And-
So it wasn't official.
it wasn't official, but I finally got it. When I got married, I also got my birth certificate.
You were also born. Congratulations. You really won that day. So that's interesting. So you weren't born at home. You went to a hospital.
Oh, yeah. And at Rockingham Memorial at
Yeah.
the time, yes.
Yep.
Okay.
And so I think, is that true then that everyone at this table was born at Rockingham Memorial?
I think, yeah. I think
Yes.
so.
yeah, which is now owned by JMU. Thank you, our overlords.
You have to thank them, otherwise they pull the plug on this.
Oh, yeah. Without them, there is no podcast.
No, actually, without Ruby's,
Ruby's
Arcade.
Arcade.
Thank you, Ruby's, as the sponsor of the show. We appreciate everything you do for us.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, so I want to
I
fast.
appreciate Ruby's Arcades too for making my boys finally get to doing something.
Oh, good. Yes.
Finally.
All right,
finally.
I want to keep going forward in
Yeah,
time.
yeah, forward in
We're
time.
jumping forward. Okay, so now, doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. How many more years should we go ahead?
I don't know. Go another 5 or 10 at least.
Okay, absolutely. So now you're dating. Now you're
No.
married.
Yeah, now they're married.
Now you're married.
Oh, let's go back to dating. We went to the prom together.
Oh, you did. This is at TA or at Buffalo Gap?
No, Buffalo Gap. I went to Buffalo Gap
Yes.
because I was in Augusta County.
Right.
And so we went to the Buffalo Gap one up at what's the name of that place, Doug? The
Ingleside Restaurant. I mean, hotel.
Hotel.
Yeah.
Okay.
In Stanton.
And we had a wonderful evening
Cool.
dancing in my little gown I had bought specially for it and all. And
Did the
Very
prom
nice.
did the prom have a theme, or was it just prom?
well, if it had a theme, I don't remember.
right.
Under the sea.
with
No,
the
wasn't
Ramblers.
Very good.
But yeah, we had a very good time at that. And then whenever we started seeing each other, we would go here and there everywhere. Our first date, as I remember, it was John Whalen then at a dance down there.
Oh, okay.
And
Which
we
is
went
now
there.
an elementary school,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And so anyway, we went to a dance. That was our first that was our first date.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he started, but we met originally. Our church and his church decided they was going to have a dance. The youth group was going to have a dance, and we invited a couple other churches.
Yeah.
And had a dance up in the Briar Branch basement, and they all come over there, and we met there, and we started dancing and talking, and it built from there.
Yeah. And a few years later, I was born.
Da, da, da. That's true. That's awesome. And a few more years later, I was born.
Then that's how it all
All right,
began.
so now let's fast forward to the 80s. I want to get to the 80s because Harrisonburg had a serious decline.
Yeah, that's true.
It disappeared. It was there was nothing. The mall opened up.
It's called the Valley Mall.
Yeah, yeah, right. So the whole downtown just went away all of a
Run
sudden.
away.
Yeah,
All the stores closed. All of them decided they had to be in the mall. When Bill Neff bulldozed that hill off out there and built the Valley Mall in the part of it, it was a mass migration from downtown.
Yeah, right.
And the only thing that was really left downtown was a few lawyers and the Court Square
Right.
The courthouse.
the courthouse itself. All the rest of the buildings were empty.
Yeah.
And the post office was still there.
Oh, that's right.
that's
Because
right.
Mom worked at the
on
post
Main
office.
Street, yeah. But downtown just went dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
So now you were working downtown at that time then, or maybe more in the 90s. When did you work at the post office, Mom?
From 81 to
81.
91.
Oh, okay. It was the 80s then. So
Yeah.
downtown was what was your idea of downtown to that time period? Do you remember much? No, just nothing.
I
there.
remember when I would try to get back to the post office after doing my route, I'd have to stop for the train and wait on the train and wait on the train. And I think maybe I'm still waiting there somewhere.
There are a lot of people who are right now waiting on that train.
Oh yeah, that train.
And Harrisonburg is one of the only trains where you watch it go forward, then backwards, then forward, then backwards again.
yeah. Oh, it's painful.
But I've got to say, I think even though JMU has taken over everything,
Sure.
that road through their campus is beautiful.
Absolutely.
And they have just made that a lovely place.
Yeah.
And that Forbes Theater,
Theater.
that's a wonderful place for people to go and take their families. They have plays there. And then the downtown now has got the downtown theater. And a lot of times they have free shows there. And it's like a theater experience. You get the popcorn.
We're gonna keep coming back to that popcorn. That's good. That's fantastic. So, all right. So through the 80s, downtown died. The Valley Mall opened up, and now, oh my gosh, now we're gonna zoom forward again. Oh, that was good.
Oh, wow.
That's
We're zooming
us
forward.
going through
That's the
time.
sound effect of us
Now
zooming forward.
we're in the year 2000. We're gonna go to the year 2001.
2001.
No, let's go 2003.
Okay.
Your children have just purchased the little grill, which is
Right,
just
that's
north
right.
of town. Okay,
right, that's
but
right.
it's still in Harrisonburg.
Right.
Okay, so we just bought the little grill. Me and Mike are working there.
I just moved back from Northern Virginia. I
That's
think.
right. That's right. Mike's joined on. I guess I bought before Mike,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he worked there. He came in. What are you thinking about your children purchasing a restaurant?
Just remember, I was going back to school though.
Yeah. Mike wasn't in it. I was in it to win it, baby.
Well, the thing that I remember thinking at the time, Chris doesn't even like to cook. And he started out as a dishwasher, and he worked up to preparing food and doing all that, and then planning meals and the menus and
Yeah.
I was wowed. I said, I didn't know he had it in him. This is from the boy that told me that he was just going to live under a bridge.
Oh, that's
somewhere.
right. You were going to live under a bridge.
That's right.
In a cardboard box.
In a
In a
cardboard.
cardboard box. And I told him we'd be sure and buy a refrigerator or something so he could have a duplex.
I was thinking of a
Oh, that's good. The duplex.
That is funny. Very good, Mom. Thank you. All right, Dad. I just bought the little grill. What are we doing?
Well, it's too small to make a living. You can't get enough people at it. And I thought, it's a little grill that when Route 11 was the main highway.
Yeah, right.
It was that type of a restaurant.
Yeah, Bob Hope would go to that restaurant.
That's
Yeah.
right. It was a very popular
It was
place.
very popular. Dive.
And when Harrisonburg changed and 81 went in, the traffic was gone.
That's right.
And the little grill was just there. It's
Yep.
kind of like L&S Diner, It survived
Both, by the way, still there.
Absolutely.
It survived off of the people who had been there forever.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
We had a lot of regulars.
the first time I went in the little grill, I thought, well, you can seat 20 people in here,
42, I believe.
49.
Is that 49? That's right.
49.
49 is the number.
But then when y'all got involved and y'all started putting on all those shows and you were singing and doing all the different things, I thought, well, they're never going to get rich, that's for sure. But,
What?
But we knew that you were doing something you all loved
Yeah.
because you loved to be up in front of the crowd singing and playing your guitars and your drums and whatever. And so it was a good fit for you all at the time.
It's pretty telling because we still get in front of crowds today, even 20 years later.
That's right. 20 years later, still doing it. So, no, that's good. So I just throwing out there, both you guys, when I first bought the grill, my dad helped us build new booths. He helped build a stage. He was integral.
Oh, and the wall, too.
Yeah.
The wall.
He was integral in a lot of projects that helped keep the grill where it is today. And my mom gave me recipes we sold your apple dumplings. And I remember selling at one point in time, we did sell a couple jars of her tomato juice. It was
Pumpkin pies.
pumpkin pies. We made pumpkin pies. So I remember you guys leaning on you guys for things even back in the early 2000s.
See, it's like they've always been there.
And they've always been there. Oh, fantastic. Yeah.
We have reached our time.
Can you believe it?
It's
Oh, man.
I
just
know.
like that.
I
It
know.
goes pretty
it goes by
quick.
so fast. So this was maybe we should go at a Harrisonburg.
part 2?
Yeah. We should probably go part 2.
Part
This
2,
is-
right? Yeah.
This is a Harrisonburg history episode for sure.
That's right. All right. Well, until next time,
Yes.
thank you for joining us. Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah.
And we'll do it again sometime soon, maybe within the next few minutes.
I love it.
But is there anything else we need to say?
Thank you to Ruby's Arcade.
Ruby's Arcade. Thank you.
We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bingo is Life, a post-bingo Harrisonburg podcast, is brought to you by the Brothers Howdyshell and our friends at Ruby's Arcade in downtown Harrisonburg, Virginia. If you've enjoyed the show and feel it's worth spreading a little joy in this world, please tell just one person that you like this podcast. Word of mouth, more than any other form of promotion, is how creative works get noticed and sustain themselves. Thank you, Andrew Hickey, for that bit of wisdom, and thank you, listeners, for being part of the fun.